there, Starwriters, and welcome back to Sincerely Yours, where every chapter is a new adventure. Grab your pens because today, instead of writing a stellar story together, we're going to write a stellar review. So open up a page in your diary because we're about to catch them all. We are less than a month away of finally getting our hands on the brand new game in the Pokemon and Pokemon Legends series called Pokemon Legends ZA. Pokemon ZA, everyone in the community, even myself, is excited on the game, as Pokemon ZA seems to have a lot of interesting trailers and leaks coming out in this month of August, which I'm surprised it's not in September. Either way, these leaks and trailers have the Pokemon community and myself excited to finally play this long awaited game. In this review, I will be talking about three goods, the three bads, and the three uglies that I have noticed in Pokemon ZA leaks and trailers while tapping in a bit of my opinions from Pokemon X and Y series. So grab your Pokédex and your Pokeballs and let's get this adventure on the road. My first good point, starting out strong, is that we finally got the first ever battle mechanic where Pokemon fights actually happen in real time, just like in the anime. For years, the games would just flash some text saying the opposing Pokemon dodged the attack, and we had to imagine it in our heads. But now, we actually get to see our Pokemon dodging, weaving, and moving around the battlefield with fluid, dynamic animations. And it's not just the Pokemon. Our trainer character can move around too, which opens up a whole new layer of immersion. This makes battles feel alive, like you're really commanding your team on the spot. Honestly, it feels like stepping into Ash Ketchum's shoes for a bit. And I can already picture myself pulling off some wild anime style strategies that would have never worked in the older games. But it's not just a battle anymore, it's a full on performance of skill, timing, and creativity. My second good point might sound strange, but honestly, I'm loving that we don't have all the information yet. Usually, the Pokemon Company spoil us way too much before release. By the time a new game comes out, we already know the legendary Pokemon, most of the characters we'll meet, and even the evil organization we'll be battling. Half of the mystery is gone before we even pick up the game. But this time, they're actually keeping things close to their chest. We don't have a clear confirmation of who the real villains are, and I love that. Right now, it feels like it could go either way. On one hand, the Rust Syndicate has been described as menacing, which fits the classic villain role. On the other hand, we have Quasico Inc., led by Jet, and something about that lady screams shady corporate villain energy, which reminds me of the chairman from Pokemon Sword and Shield. But if that uncertainty has me hooked, are we getting a straightforward evil team like in past gens, or are they building up something deeper with multiple factions pulling strings? The fact that I don't know yet and that the fandom is speculating along with me is making this build up feel exciting in a way Pokemon hasn't felt in a long time. Honestly, I hope the Pokemon Company keeps playing it smart and doesn't over explain everything before release. But right now, that mystery is half the fun. To piggyback from my last point, I honestly feel like Pokemon ZA might have the best storyline we've gotten in years. Think about it. In recent years, the Pokemon Company and Game Freak have been releasing games at a breaknecking pace. For an example, we had Legends Arceus and Brilliant Diamond and Shiny Pearl drop within the same year, just months apart. That constant rush of titles left a lot of fans, myself included, feeling like their storytelling was suffering. But this time, they actually took a year off. At first, I wasn't happy about the delay, I'll be honest. I hate waiting. But looking back now, I think that break might have been the best thing they could have done. Why? Because it feels like Game Freak finally had time to sit in a studio, breathe, and really craft a narrative. Instead of rushing out another release, they had space to marinate on the storyline and polish it into something more meaningful. And if the trailers and leaks are any indication, ZA looks like it's carrying more weight in its world building, themes, and character arcs than we've seen in a long time. This could actually set the stage for the strongest introduction to Gen 10 storytelling we've had ever had in the Pokemon franchise. If ZA delivers the way I think it can, this might be the start of a new era of Pokemon games that put just as much love in the story as the battles and adventure. So yeah, if the story lives up to the potential we're seeing, ZA could seriously raise the bar for Pokemon storytelling going forward. But here's the catch. Even with that promise, there are still some decisions from the Pokemon Company that make me stop and go, really? So let's talk about the first bad I've noticed. I know what you're probably thinking. Wait a minute. Didn't you say Mega Evolution was one of your favorite battle mechanics ever? And you'll be right. Back in 2014, Mega Evolution was peak Pokemon. It was fresh, exciting, and felt like this ultimate bond between trainer and Pokemon. All you need was the right Mega Stone, and boom, your Charizard, your Lucario, even my personal favorite, Blastoise, transform into something powerful and majestic. I admit it. I used to spam that mega button every chance I got. But here we are in 2025, and I got to be honest, Mega Evolution just doesn't hit the same anymore. The mechanic feels dated and almost pointless. Sure, your Pokemon gets a cool transformation mid battle, but once the fight is over, poof, they're back to their normal selves. It's starting to feel less like a permanent evolution and more like a magical girl transformation straight out of Winx Club. Like, no disrespect to Winx Club. I love me some sparkly transformation. But in a mainline Pokemon game, it feels shallow. What I really wish is that Mega Evolution had been developed into something lasting. Imagine if your Pokemon could stay in that form outside of battle, with new animations, new interactions, and that extra layer of immersion. Instead, Mega Evolution is stuck as this temporary gimmick that looks cool but doesn't add much depth anymore. And that's disappointing for a mechanic that once felt like the future of the franchise. One of the most talked about reveals from the trailers has been Mega Dragonite. Let's just say that the reaction has been mixed. According to community analysis, this new mega form has become super polarizing, with fans calling the design ugly AF, terrible, and even a crime. To be honest, I don't know how a mega form of a Dragonite can be a crime, but okay. But to be honest with you, in my honest opinion, kind of like I kind of like it's like a slow burn like with Dragonite Mega Form. And it seems like to me when I first looked at it, it looked like a Steven Universe kind of fusion. Like if Dragonite and Dragon Air, were able to do their little fusion dance or do their little dancey dance, that's what would have came out of that. But anywho, a legacy favorite like Dragonite carries a ton of emotional weight for longtime fans, so when design decisions don't land, pushback is immediate and loud. It raises a red flag if even core characters are getting controversial redesigns. What does that mean for a deeper immersion and fan goodwill as the game progresses? Another thing that's gotten fans worried is how narrow the setting feels and how underwhelming the hype cycle has been for the game so far. Many have noted that ZA appears to take place entirely in Lumiose City, and that's a bit of a red flag in terms of scope. When the news of ZA taking place entirely in Lumiose City dropped, I was disappointed as I would love to explore and notice a difference in Kalos from 2014 to now. Also, I believe it's not fair that we get to practically explore the whole Sinnoh region in Legends Arceus and not explore the Kalos region in this upcoming game. If the setting feels small or the city feels empty, it can stall engagement fast. Community reaction to the reveal trailer has also skewed toward disappointment as well, as many felt it's more like a We Still Exist update rather than something meant to get fans hyped. One user called it a perfectly whelming trailer in a situation that needed more excitement injected into it. ZA might still deliver on gameplay and story, but right now, the combination of limited setting promise and low energy unveiling isn't exactly building hype, it's curbing it. So, those are the bads. Frustrating, yes, but things we've almost come to expect from the Pokemon Company at this point. But then there are the uglies. These are the choices and problems that go beyond simple nitpicks and really make you question what direction this game is headed. So, let's dive into those now. Let's get my first point under this section out of the way. Pokemon CA still doesn't have voice acting. A few months back, I posted a video about all the things I hope to see in this new game, which I'll put in the iCard above so you can check that video out. But one of the biggest things I wanted on my list was voice acting. Now, some of you on my YouTube shorts and TikTok commented, why would you expect the Pokemon Company to add voice acting? They're a lazy game company. And here's my answer. I expect it because we, the fans, spend our hard earned money on these games. Pokemon is one of the only major franchises where people are willing to buy every new release purely out of love for the battles, the adventure of being a trainer, and the memories we make with our teams. And yet, compared to other gaming franchises that charge the same price or even less, Pokemon still doesn't give us something as basic as voice acting. And the numbers make it even crazier because according to Vice, the Pokemon Company has brought in $12 billion in revenue in 2024. That's without releasing a new mainline Pokemon game or even side titles like Mystery Dungeon or Detective Pikachu. That's actually a $1.2 billion increase from the year before. Total retail, Pokemon has earned a jaw-dropping $103.6 billion. So if they can bring in that kind of money without releasing new games, why are we paying $69.99 plus tax for a brand new Pokemon title with silent characters? Every other major game I've played at this point comes with a voice acting. Why not Pokemon? This is literally wild to me. And here's where it really hits me. I went back and replayed Pokemon Y to prepare for ZA, and I found myself skipping most of the dialogue. Even with the text speed cranked up, the conversations dragged so much that I was missing key story beats. Honestly, it just made me tune the game out itself. If the Pokemon Company added voice acting, it would have just it wouldn't just make the story more immersive, it would actually keep fans from skipping through the dialogue on their first playthrough or when they're replaying the game later. It's a simple upgrade that will completely change the experience. One of the biggest sticking points online has been the uncertainty surrounding how Pokemon Legends CA will perform on the original Nintendo Switch. All the recent gameplay snippets and trailers have showcased the game running on the newer, more powerful Switch 2, with visuals that look smooth, vibrant, and packed with moving Pokemon and bustling environments. But here's the problem. The vast majority of Pokemon fans still only own the original Switch. Without any official footage or comparisons, fans are understandably worried that the real experience they'll get might fall short on the flashy trailers. Because look, I'm all for innovation like new mechanics, darker tones, fresher ideas, and Pokemon CA are really exciting. But the real ugly truth, the meat and potatoes of this truth, many fans are worried CA might repeat the technical missteps of recent entries. Because according to Game Rant, a significant number of Pokemon fans are justifiably worried that Pokemon Legends CA will have all the same technical issues that plague Scarlet and Violet. Issues like frame rate drops, pop-in textures, and unpolished environments made those games feel unrefined, despite their ambition. That concern isn't just online chatter. A recent YouTube video titled Pokemon Legends ZA Looks Awful. What Went Wrong? Digs into how the game seems to be stuck in Game Freak's cycle of rush releases and surface level polish. Fans are raising red flags early by asking, is this just another game that looks good on trailers but plays like it was rushed to meet a deadline? Earlier, I mentioned Mega Evolution in the bad section, but I also want to put it in the ugly section because I see so much wasted potential here. Don't get me wrong, I love Mega Evolutions. The designs, the transformations, seeing my Pokemon Mega Evolve was so exciting, but it's all hype. But imagine if Game Freak actually pushed the mechanic further instead of just reusing it as is. Here's my idea, so walk with me here, people. What if Mega Evolution and Z moves combine into a new system? We keep the awesome Mega Evolution designs and transformations, but then add the unique, tailor made power of Z moves on top. Think about it. When your Pokemon Mega evolves, their bond with the trainer could unlock a personalized Z move tied to their favorite or signature attack. For an example, in the demo, we saw AZ's Mega Lucario battling a Mega Absol with our player character, but Lucario was just spamming Aura Sphere like normal. That looked cool, but what if AZ was a part of the fight and he was using his Mega Lucario to battle Mega Absol? This could actually transform Aura Sphere into a devastating one of a kind Z move that would instantly make Mega Evolution feel more meaningful and personal to each trainer Pokemon pair. And that's the good, the bad, and the ugly of Pokemon ZA, at least so far. Honestly, I think this game has the potential to be something special, but like any story, the ending is what really matters, and we'll only know once we play it for ourselves. Now, I want to hear from you. What do you think? Are you excited, nervous, or maybe a little bit of both? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I love hearing from my fellow Starwriters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell to join the journey through the stars for more out of this world ideas. Until next time, keep your pen to the stars and your heart in the pages. Sincerely yours.